Hi, I'm Daryl Smith. I moved to Florida a few years ago and now I go by the Las Palmas Gourmet. And today I'm giving an advanced class on making one of my favorite dishes, an international style paella. The proteins used in this paella will include andouille sausage, chicken tenders, mahi-mahi fillets, diver scallops, large shrimp, black mussels, and little neck clams. And the vegetables and seasonings include a medium sweet onion, red, yellow, and orange bell peppers, celery stalks, fresh rosemary, fresh garlic, Spanish saffron, sriracha chili paste, chili oil, and your favorite Cajun spice. I like the Slap Your Mama brand. And I like using short grain arborio rice for this preparation. And in this advanced class, I'm teaching my son DJ how to make this paella. Get in here. So you got half the onion, right? Nice flat surface. The easy way is just to score it straight down. And however you want the thickness of the onion to be, that's how much distance you give. So just go straight down, straight down, straight down. And the onion is already in layers, right? If you want it to be smaller, you can cut down the middle, but you don't have to do this. If you want it a little smaller. So now you have layers and strips. So all you gotta do is just go straight down, turn it 90 degrees, and go straight down. Just it's about the same size, all in a bottom. That's easy. You can just use those. For the pepper, let's cut the top off. Discard that. Seeds out. Get that. And just cut it down. Now, you got it. It's easier to cut a pepper from the inside out. It's difficult to cut from the outside because the skin is tough. So it's easier to cut from the inside and just make strips. Turn it 90 degrees, and you just go straight down. You got dices. Alright, try the other half. For the sake of time, for the rest of the prep, I'm going to fast forward the video. So DJ is going to continue preparing the bell peppers, and dicing the celery into a medium dice. And while he finishes up, I'm going to start preparing the proteins. I'm working on the mahi-mahi fillets, and I leave the skin on. I think it adds a nice flavor to the broth. And I make sure to clean the cutting board between each protein. Next, I'll start on the andouille sausage and cut it into a medium dice. Again, I clean the board and the knife. And next, I start on the chicken tenders. I usually use chicken thighs, but they're kind of hard to find these days. So I dice it up also into a medium dice. Next, I'm going to season all of my proteins with the Slap Your Mama Cajun spice, including the scallops. This next step is one of the keys to my advanced paella, making the shellfish stock from scratch. I start by dicing a medium-sized white onion. And then I save the shells from snow crab, shrimp, lobster, whatever shellfish I have on hand, and I keep it in the freezer. Then I add oil to a preheated stock pot, add the onions and the shellfish shells, mix it around, add a sprig or two of fresh rosemary, then I like to season with salt and cracked black pepper. Be generous here, it's okay. Then I squeeze the juice of half a lemon and add that to the pot, and then cover with water. It'll probably take about 2 liters of water. I simmer this for about 45 minutes and then strain the broth. Most paellas will use saffron in its broth, but my secrets are coming up next. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world.
Huh.
This container probably costs about 20 bucks.
Wow.
So we're not going to use it all. But a little bit goes a long way. It'll give a lot of flavor. So that'll be enough for another batch someday. Saffron rice or risotto. Then I like to have my sauce a little spicy. So I'm just going to add a little sriracha. Just a touch of chili oil. I'm going to let that heat up just a little bit while we go get the grill started. And then this ought to be a nice flavorful broth. We've moved to the outside. I have a 21-inch paella pan over a propane burner. We preheat the pan, add some oil, and we want to get the longest cooking items in first. So we're going to add the andouille sausage first. That will brown the sausage as well as season the oil for the rest of the dish. Stir it around in the pan and then remove the sausage once it starts to brown. We don't want to overcook it. Next, add the vegetables, the bell peppers, the celery, and the onions, and give them a good saute. The paella pan will be hottest in the center, so to control the heat, move it over to the side so that it doesn't burn or cook too fast. And season that with salt and pepper. The technique of making paella is moving the ingredients around to the edge of the pan, creating a well in the center, and then adding the next ingredient. So our next ingredient will be to sear the sea scallops. We want to move them around so that they have space enough to cook. Get a nice brown color on each side. Once they're cooked, remove them from the pan and then add the chicken and get a good sear on both sides of the chicken. Then combine all the ingredients and push them back to the side to make a well for the next ingredient. I'm adding back the andouille sausage, combine all of those ingredients, and again, make a well in the center. Next, we're going to sear the mahi-mahi. That will not take as much time as some of the other proteins, so I'm going to add back the scallops, combine all of those ingredients, and once again, make a well. now it's time to add the arborio rice. You want to toast that for about 1 minute and then combine it with all of the ingredients. Next, we're going to deglaze the pan with a little white wine. I like to use either a Reisling or a Gerwurztraminer, kind of a sweet white wine. Let that go for about a minute or two, and then we add about 4 or 5 cups of the shellfish stock. You want to cover the whole paella with liquid to make sure that all of the rice comes in contact with the liquid and that it cooks. And you want to spread it out evenly, especially the rice. Next, I'm going to have DJ add shaved garlic. This was a technique I picked up when I took a paella class in Spain. Add a squeeze of lemon juice and place half of the lemon into the center of the pan. And now we're going to start to decorate the pan by first layering in the shrimp in a spiral pattern evenly around the pan. Then we add in the clams and the mussels. I like to add a little green vegetables, so we're going to use some frozen green peas. And I also made some roasted red bell pepper that we'll use to decorate the paella. Then we're going to cover it all up with heavy-duty aluminum foil and let it simmer for 15 more minutes, and then turn off the heat and allow it to rest for another 15 minutes. Nice job, bud. I think you just graduated from this advanced paella class. I can tell you, this was a flavorful, spicy, and just delicious paella. So, I hope you learned some of my techniques. Give this recipe a try and enjoy.